Alright, what's going up, guys? Welcome to Nerding Out, and this is going to be our first podcast. This is Henry. Say hello, Henry.
How's it going?
So, I want to ask him a couple questions. My first question is, do you remember how we first met Henry?
Wait. When you say how we first met Henry, do you mean like how you and I first met, or how like we as like your collective fans?
How me and you first
met.
Yeah. We actually worked together, me and Henry. That's how I first met him. So, Henry, you remember how we first met? Or what got us, like, being friends?
See, so I remember it was, I think I commented on your Joker shirt, I think it was.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah, so I had a shirt. I'm trying to find... Sorry, well, that's what I was doing for a minute. Sorry. So yeah, I had this Joker shirt. It was it's a half sleeve, I think. And it has the Joker, like, it's from, what is it?
I think Killing Joke.
Yeah, it is Killing Joke, where he's like first becomes Joker and he's like laughing and everything, and it has a bunch of laughter on my shirt, my sleeves. It's probably one of the best shirts, but it's a little small on me now because I've lifted so much.
Yeah, you definitely like because I remember like you first came in, you were like cut and defined, then you went to like the powerlifting, you got bigger, stronger. Yeah, but I was like, hey, nice shirt, and that's all she wrote.
That's how our friendship started. So I do want to point out that for one time, so I remember when I first met Henry, and I was working the day shift and he was coming in for the night shift, and it was kind of awkward at first. So we didn't know each other, you know, and we were first starters too, and they just threw us in there. Like they're like, okay, you gotta do this. This is how you send people in. By the way, they never taught me how to like do first members coming in to do contracts, you know.
Yeah.
So my first customer came in one time, and he's like, all right, I wanna sign up, and like I was blinking like I have no idea. Like I was like,
sir, I'm gonna need you to come back at 8 a.m.
Yeah. So the funny thing was so I was like, I kind of don't know how to do this, so I'm gonna have to like call my boss up real fast, and that's when oh my god, what was her name?
Oh, Angie.
Angie.
Yeah.
It was Angie.
Yeah.
Pretty sure she had a crush on me, but
because you shook her hand.
it was a handshake. Oh. It was a handshake. Angie, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. Angie, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. Anyways, so the funny thing was, so I call her up and she was watching a movie, so she had a whisper to me the whole time. So I was like, "What?"
Wait, so she was in a movie, like in a movie theater?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Sorry, but I hate those people.
Yeah.
Like, you're sitting there, you're watching the story, like, and like they're about to kill the guy, and then
yeah.
Look behind the pantry. It's oh man.
But dude, she was like, I'm in a mood right now with my family. I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Like I need help. Dude, can I call anybody else? So I tried to call up. Why can't I remember anybody's name now?
Oh, what up?
The manager.
Either Derek or Carl, I think it was. Yeah.
Carl. It was Carl.
Yeah.
So I had to call up Carl, and he was doing something. You know how kind of loud he is. So he like yells in the phone like, "What?"
Yeah.
Jesus. And so I'm like, so I don't know how to like sign anybody in, like make a new contract or whatever, you know, for a membership. And that's when for a membership. And he was like, all right, you gotta do this, and you gotta. He's like, drag it out here. The worst instructions ever, I swear. So I definitely, my very first one, I accidentally put that guy's membership on somebody else's account.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so somebody else is paying for this guy's account. I felt so bad too. Oh my god. So what happened was they had to go back and like refund all this guy's money. They only paid for like a month for the first month of that guy. I felt so bad. Oh my god.
So I'll go into the. I think you're already gone by then, but this was probably like the last day that I worked there. A C4 rep came, or Cellucor rep came in and was like, "Hey, in honor of the new C4 that we have coming out, we're gonna give you a lot of the old ones, and then you can just give them away to your customers." And I was like, "Are you sure?" He was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Like we talked about with Derek, the owner, and this, blah blah blah. It's all good." And I was like, "Oh my god!" So I texted you. I'm about to like name drop. I texted you, Noelia, Justin, Jason, everybody I knew, and I said, "Get to the field house right now." And Noelia was the only one that came, and I was like, "Hey, boom, here's a box of C4." And then people came in, and I was like, "Hey, here's a box of C4." Because we got like 30-something boxes. And I felt like Oprah. I was like, "You get a C4, you get a C4." And I was giving it to everybody. And then the phone rang, and it was Derek. And he was like, "What the fuck?" Like, sorry.
It's fine.
"What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm giving away the C4, you know, like the rep said." He's like, I forget how much he paid for them. I'm not gonna say it out loud, but I forget how much he paid for them versus like how much it actually like cost him. But he was like, "You need to get those, and you need to get those now."
Oh
So,
god.
yeah, but yeah, that was the last day that I worked there.
Actually, so I used to, my schedule was I worked Saturday, Sunday, and then night shift on Thursday. So
Yeah, that was weird.
It was weird, and I hated it. But there was this German lady. Do you remember her? She was German, and her husband was a police officer, I think.
Coming in like in the mornings, I think, right? Yeah, yeah.
She was so loud. But the thing that drove me nuts was she would come up in the morning and be like, she'd be like, "Hey!"
Yeah.
I'd turn around and be like, "Yes?" And she was like, "Can you turn the music down?" I was like, "You don't turn the music down." She's like, "Yeah, it's way too loud in here." I was like, "It's a gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
You only turn the music down." So I was like, "But you have to do it. The customer, you have to do whatever the customer wants, right?"
I had all right, sorry, last one. I had a couple times where actually no, I've got two stories. The first one is I had a couple customers that would come in and they would like scan in or badge in, and they'd sit in their car for like 30 minutes and then just drive off somewhere.
Yes.
So
it looked like they were active and yeah.
But then I had another one, and I think I ended up calling Derek about this. Was where some lady called and she was like, "Oh, hey, you know, is my husband there? Blah blah blah." And I was like, "You know, I'm sorry, I really can't like tell you that or not." She was like, "Okay, fine." So 5 minutes later, a car comes pulling into the driveway or into the parking lot. She gets out, walks in, and she's on her phone, and she's like, "Oh, you where? Well, guess what? I'm here, motherfucker, and you're not. So where the hell are you?" And she just went off. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, "He's going to put this on Snapchat."
The weather today is kind of
Focus in. Yeah.
yeah. I kind of have a similar story like that. So I was working the night shift and I had this regular group come in like really late at night. I think you know his name, Seth.
Yeah, yeah.
Seth, and then a group of Mexicans would come in too. Not being like racist, but it was literally a group of Mexicans.
Yeah.
Like I don't know their names, but so apparently one of their friends was like got really bad into like drugs and like gang or whatever, and he came with them, and I could tell he was on drugs. Like you could tell, and I was like, this poor guy lifting, and I was like, maybe he's like recovering or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So one night I was sitting there on my phone, you know, night shift isn't very
Dead.
Yeah, it's very dead.
Dead.
So there was a good like 3 hours where there's nothing, but that group stayed in there for a while, and it was because something was going down with that guy. All of a sudden, 2 guys with baseball bats show up. I'm like, and I stopped. I was like, "Hey, hold on, what are y'all doing?" Like, and one guy was like, we're here for so-and-so. And I was like, no, you're not. I said, not with those bats.
Yeah.
No, you ain't walking in here with those bats. And, you know, Derek kept that baseball bat in this case, you know. And he was like, oh, yeah? What are you going to do? It points like, gets really close to the bat. I was like, I'll give y'all 3 seconds to walk out that door before I show you, you know.
Yeah.
Like when people walk in here, we're a family in here, and you basically walking in here and threatening my family. Like, and I'm the one in charge right now. I'm at the front desk, and you're threatening people in here, so I'm not gonna have it. Me not knowing these 2 people are in the game, by the way.
Yeah.
You know? So I got myself in a little bit of trouble, but not really.
Yeah.
So they're about like, we'll be back for you. I was like, all right. A really big dude shows up with a baseball bat, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I was like, excuse me, sir, what are you doing here? He was like, oh, you want to do guys? I was like, oh, God, what did I got myself into? But those guys right there had my back. They called the cops on him.
Oh, sick.
And apparently he was like one of the head honchos of this really big gang. Yeah, and I stood there.
Yeah.
Stood there, didn't do anything. So I was like sweating bullets, you know?
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know. I'd have been like, sorry, the only way I can let you back in is if you sign up for a membership.
Yeah.
And I would have made him like pay in full right now.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Dude, it was after I learned, like, they came up and talked to me after the police, like, came and got him and took him away. Like, dude, you just have to put away this really big gang member. And I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
This whole time I was talking to gang members. This whole time, I could have been shot and they wouldn't have cared. So
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then like apparently the guy was on drugs, was recovering and everything. Got out of that gang. That's why they were searching for him. Yeah. So I literally just helped that guy, not even knowing it. So
Well, I mean, what's that saying? Like, you know, blood in, blood out.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
you got kind of lucky.
yeah. All right, Rainier, I have my first question for you. So I've always wanted this, and okay, I remember that number. Okay, what really got you into comic books, or like movies, or like games, or like stuff like that? What really got you into it? I've been waiting for this story.
All right, it's gonna be a long scenic route, but I promise, like, it's gonna have a good ending. So I'd say probably like somewhere around middle school, I was like typical like dorky, nerdy kid and all this other stuff. And a best friend of mine, Kevin Trotter, like if you're out there, I've searched for you on Facebook, MySpace, Instagram. If you see this, hit me up. I was just going through like a really like bad time in my life, and I actually thought about like running away. And sorry, Mom, sorry, Dad. And so he actually, I didn't obviously, but he made friends with me, and you know how people do like Dungeons and Dragons where they give you options and clues and you go on quests.
Well, yeah, you have to roll whatever number it is. Well, what it is.
We sort of did that, but it was more along the lines of with comic books and stuff. So during lunch, we would walk around and play these games, and he gave me a character of Spider-Man and the Hulk, and that was my first introduction to them. And I really liked it because of the bond that he and I shared, but also I got more into the actual like characters, and I wanted to learn more about these about the superheroes. And so at that time I met another friend of mine, and he actually was into comic books and video games and all that stuff. And he's like, oh, well, I'll take you to a comic book shop. And he took me to a comic book shop that was maybe about 30 minutes away. And you walked upstairs, and it was just wall to wall to wall of comic books and posters and everything. And it was pretty much like I got hooked right then. But, all right, so here's the bad part. Kind of ashamed to admit this. What we used to do...
Are you okay to do this on camera?
Kind of, sort of. Oh, man. This is the first time I'm saying this like out loud, live public.
Oh, good. Oh, here we go.
So,
I'm waiting for this.
We used to steal the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
and from the store, and then we would take them to school, and then sell them to kids at school, steal it from those kids, and then resell the comic books again.
Oh my god.
And we did this for months. And to be honest, that's the only way I actually could have read as many comic books as I did and had that knowledge, was because I couldn't have paid for it, couldn't afford it, and I regret it now, but the door that it opened up for me it was fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Which is I swear this man, I can literally go to the gym. We'll probably won't be able to work for a good 30 minutes because me and him would I'll ask him a question, he'll tell me, and then I'll tell him my opinion or something, or what we'll talk about a movie. Aquaman. But
or maybe we won't talk about that just yet. Can we do if I had a time machine right now, this is where I would use it. Stop time, go watch Aquaman, and then come back because I haven't seen it yet.
forgot you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But,
well, wait. So before we go any further, what got you into comic books? Because I'm pretty sure they know, but maybe they don't. That while everyone calls you Superman, your favorite character is actually someone else.
Mm-hmm. You want to know why I got been
Absolutely.
called Superman? All right, we got to go way back to when I was a freshman. Yeah, but so when I was a freshman, I was really small. I was probably 5'5",
Mm-hmm.
and $130 probably. I was really skinny and everything, but I was super strong for my size, and I went into powerlifting. Because one day we were lifting in athletics,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden we were squatting. I was doing twice my size. I was doing 225 for a guy, for a little
Not
bitty
bad.
dude, right? And so my coach called me up and was like, "Do you want to do powerlifting?" I was like, "Yeah, it seems really cool, actually." So what happens was, hold on.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, we started because I heard it beep.
Okay. Well, did it shut down?
It said it stopped automatically. So
You're gonna edit this part out too, right?
I don't know. Probably. But anyways, so when I was a freshman, I was really small, and so one day we were in athletics, and a little big guy like me lifting 225, 230.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a 5'5", I mean,
Yeah.
130. I was probably in the 148 class in my freshman to sophomore year. So what happened was, when I was in the weight room one day, I was lifting and squatting, I think. Either squatting or deadlift, because deadlift I was super good at deadlift,
Yeah.
and that was always skyrocketed everything. Well, one time I deadlifted or squatted something probably triple my size or whatever. And my coach thought it was phenomenal, And he's like, "Dude," he's like, "Man, you're like Superman." I was like, "Huh?" I'm too strong to be Superman.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. He's like, "No, not like you being strong or ability to fly or whatever. It's Superman and the Clark Kent kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're Superman inside the weight room, but outside the weight room, nobody really expects that Clark Kent is Superman. This goofy dude can't be Superman."
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it started. So when I went home and told my mom this, and then a month later, or a couple weeks later, she has a jacket for me, a Superman jacket.
Yeah.
I actually still have it. It's a zip up one,
Mm-hmm.
and I wore it to school. And I thought it was really cool. And all of a sudden, everybody and their mom started calling me Superman.
Yeah.
To this day, I still have people that call me from high school. Actually, Jason, that country dude, whatever,
Yeah.
about to get married, he only knows me by Superman, by the way. He said he has no idea what my name is.
Yeah.
Because of it. But my coach started it, and I started this tradition, my own tradition of, I have Superman Converse. You've seen them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I might video y'all some video later, but I probably have. Let's see. I probably have like 7 of them now. Yeah, I have the 2 new pair that I kind of switched from. I have a Justice League pair, and then I have a Superman Reborn.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like him like fighting like monsters, and like it looks really cool. And then I kind of go between them two. I kind of lift with my Justice League one, because I used to have lifting Converse. You know, it used to be like my old Superman, but it hurts to lift him enough because I wore him down so much.
There's like no sole on the bottom.
Yeah, it hurts to lock them too. Golly. So.
But then, not to cut you off, but then how'd the Captain America thing come about though?
Well, Captain America obviously, I have the backpack and everything, is one of my favorites. Yes, because he's really badass and he just kicks ass and he's super strong and he's a super soldier or whatever. But I like what he stands for.
Okay.
And everybody who meets me or everything, like Becca, when I told her about Captain America, why I like him, she's like, that's definitely you. It's what he stands for.
Yeah.
It's his honor, you know. He like admits to his mistakes, you know, like he doesn't give up on anything.
True.
You know,
or anybody.
Honestly, like Bucky, like he never gave up Bucky if everybody sees him in the movies. That's what it's because he's basically he is his brother. You know, he took him in when his parents died. You know, what's there? Like my favorite line is 2 of my favorite lines is "I'll be with you till the end of the line," and when he's like, I can do this all day.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Absolutely. It gets me like,
absolutely
pumped.
Absolutely.
Yes.
How awesome would it be if in the upcoming Avengers movie where he's fighting Thanos, and obviously Thanos is like, you know, just beating him down, and then he gets up and he's like,
I can do this all day.
Yeah.
I would, dude. Yeah. I would get up and like run around the theater.
yeah. Because I do like how. They did that sort of throwback between like
that's in Civil War when Iron Man's like stay down. Last one is like I can do this all day.
Absolutely.
I'm like whoo, goosebumps, man.
Definitely. So,
dude,
Marvel, Kevin Feige, listen up. All right.
It's just what he stands for, and like I read some comic books to where he like he throws himself in front of people to save their lives, and he like. I'll put my life in front of yours before I let anything happen to you.
Yeah.
Like, I was a limb before anything even touches you, you know. Or standing up for what you believe in, you know. Look at, like, in Civil War, he was saving his best friend, but his best friend and him were trying to defeat this army. I mean, or I guess the elite group or whatever. But it turns out that the bad guy knew that was going to tear the Avengers apart, you know. But Captain America stood strong to what he believed in, and he just wanted to save his best friend. Like he knew that he could bring back Bucky from the Winter Soldier, and that's what he was gonna do, you know. Like, and I have friends out there that I've had their backs. Like I haven't talked to one of my best friends or friend. If he still called me up today and said, "I need my help," I'll be right there, you know, like. That, and that's why I like Captain America. Like, it's his honor, you know. Like I feel like my family kind of has that too. It kind of has that Captain America mentality, I guess. And it's just the way he is. Like obviously, like his shield, the way he throws it, and like where he beats up people, his moves are badass. But like, I guess the way he does it, I guess, is just that's why I like him. So
There's a comic book that I have where Cable comes back from the future, and or comes to the present from the future, and he and Captain America are, I think that they're going against, I don't know, either like the Shield or maybe AIM. Not Shield. Either like Hydra or AIM or something like that. Anyways, Captain's like he just runs head first into like just a group of these soldiers and stuff. And Cable's like, "Do you need a hand?" And Cap's like, "No." And that's all he says. And then like the next couple panels, you just see him like just taking out dudes left and right. and Cable he's sitting there and he's thinking, that of all the history that I've known about Captain America and all the other superheroes, to actually watch this man confidently, without arrogance, tell you that he's got this is just amazing to watch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
Yeah, it was just, and like I'm pretty sure that Chris Evans was born to play that character. By the way.
So I was thinking about that too when you talked about the honor portion of it, and how he doesn't quit, doesn't back down. And I was like, man, like Chris Evans is the dude to play that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't see anybody else playing that character or having that kind of presence that he does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Real quick, you know what's interesting too about Chris Evans is that he actually has really bad social anxiety.
Yeah, he can't.
And
he doesn't like to go live on stage. That's why he hasn't done Saturday Night Live.
Exactly. And he was saying that he really had to do some soul searching and dig deep inside himself before he committed to this, because he knew what it would mean for the next 10 plus years of his life.
10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
Absolutely.
Man. But I mean, look at Robert Downey Jr. He started all this, so he's in from the beginning of all these 10 years. It's amazing. Oh, by the way, I do want to say that I do like the old look of Iron Man than the new look in the movies. Because yes, the suit is, the nanotechnology is like perfect. It's good and just like whatever, but the original Iron Man look is amazing to me. Like the first movie, I would go back and watch some clips when he's suiting up and he was getting in. He was about to go fly to where he got captured or whatever, and he flies in and pulls that guy through that wall, when he's suiting up first, and he's like, he goes ding, and looks at the camera, it's like boom, it's the Iron Man. I'm like, oh,
Like, when you see the eyes light up, that is
And that's I love the original look of Iron Man. Like the new look, it's cool. Like I like it, but I still like the original look of Iron Man.
It's classic. Absolutely.
The two scenes that I like is where before all this happens, and he's like, "Gentlemen, I give you Jericho," and he stretches out his hand, and the whole mountain just destroys it. And then the other one is where I think he's fighting a tank, and he shoots a couple missiles at the tank, turns around, he's walking towards the camera, and absolutely.
Or he dodges the bullet, he shoots.
Yeah, I mean
that little bitty rocket too.
And see, that's one of those things of where I think it's really good if you can watch a film and it brings out the kid in you, and you're super happy and you're super ecstatic watching it. God, yeah.
That's why it's fun to go watch movies with people who are not who don't really get into it, because I'm like yeah, like when Captain America, the second Captain America, by the way, in the very beginning, we jumped on that ship and he Sparta kicks that dude off the ship. Yeah. And when I first saw him, I went, whoo! I was in the movie theater when I did that. I went, whoo! Like that. And everybody was like, hey, don't you do that. Don't do that to me.
So here in Tampa, they've got the two different movie theaters. There's the one that's by the mall, and then there's the Cinemark one. The one that's by the mall, I like going to that one because I find that the people there are more engaged in the movies and this and that. And if you shout or cheer or whatever, they'll do the same one too. And it wasn't here, but when I watched the first Avengers, and when Tony flies up into the black hole or whatever it is to close it, and then he's falling back down, and the Hulk jumps up and catches him, and they fall to the ground. The theater erupted. Everyone was like, yeah, woo! And then at the end, this guy was like, good catch, Hulk. And it was like, yes, these are my people. These are my people. Yeah.
I do want to do one of my best memories about us, by the way. You remember when I walked in to watch Thor Ragnarok, and you were sitting up in the seats? Oh, all I heard was, oh God, what did you say? It was like, son of a bitch. No, it was holy shit. Holy shit. And I was like, Henry? I was like, grandma brother was like, we're sitting by Henry.
Okay, well, one of mine was at the Comic-Con, and I remember like I was upstairs trying to get to sunroom, and I looked down and I saw you, and I was like, Travis, Travis, and everyone looked around and was like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Should we get his autograph?
Yeah, and he was like, it's fucking Travis Stone. And I went like that. Literally, I had people walk by and be like, hey. Like, I'm literally just a random person.
Yeah, I love the random Travis sightings.
Yeah.
Like, those are awesome.
Dude, I feel like ever since I met you, we randomly just bump into each other places. Like,
and then we have awesome adventures.
Yes. I think that Comic Con was amazing. I remember like bumping into, we were both getting swords. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was your first Comic Con, right? I think.
Yeah, that was my very first one.
Oh man,
I was dressed up as that's where you got the picture of Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
And I said,
but you saw him.
I said hey to him. You know, this is my favorite moment ever. All right, so I went to the Comic Con and like me and Henry went with a bunch of our friends or whatever, and so at the end you got he actually got a picture with him. By the way, Jason Momoa was huge because he just towered over Henry, and So I didn't get the tickets prior to it or whatever. So I just kind of like saw him over everybody. But what I did, I went to Comic Con as Clark Kent turning into Superman. So what I did was I yelled him like, Jason! Like that. And he was signing me. He was like, you know my name? Yeah. And he looks at me and was like, hey! I did the Superman thing. He was like, hey! And I literally almost fainted. I was like, they pointed at me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I tell that to everybody, by the way.
No, that dude is an awesome person through and through. I don't know much about his private life because
I follow him on all social media, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably one of the coolest people ever. He does like these. He's from Hawaii, so like he does like this like children's rock climbing thing, I guess. And he was like teaching this one guy online for a long time. And I think last year he finally got to meet that kid. Yeah, he's been teaching the kid for like years.
Wow.
On like Skype and telling him how to do it. Like he finally flew the kid to Hawaii and he finally met Jason Momoa.
That is crazy.
That is
crazy.
Yes.
There's one video I saw of him where he's somewhere. I think he was in San Antonio, maybe doing an axe throwing thing, and he looks at the camera, he says something cool, chugs a beer, slams it down, grabs an axe, and just like boom, dead center. And this was last year, and I made plans like weeks in advance to go down there to that same place. It took me a full hour to do that. So I chugged a beer, grabbed my axe, and then threw it. And like first couple shots, I think like I threw the axe backwards or something like that. But yeah, he is generally an awesome person. I mean, he can definitely play like a super badass in all of his. Like again, I haven't seen Aquaman. You have, but yeah.
He definitely took Aquaman to a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
This, which is very funny because like in the cartoons he was like a blonde dude and everybody like Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
This moment literally just turned that like upside down, dude. Like this is definitely going to be the peak of DC now. Like this is going to be the uphill for DC. Like, they're doing so good now.
Which is weird though because so you've got actually you're right. They were doing so good with the new Superman with Henry Cavill, who. Again, DC, I'm putting this out to you. If you put anyone else in the role of Superman other than Henry Cavill, I'll do a jihad on you. I'm kidding, no. So Henry Cavill as Superman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and Jason Momoa as Aquaman. You can't go wrong with those three. You really can't. I mean, I know a lot of people are still iffy about Ben Affleck and Batman, but I mean, you've got three powerhouses right there. Run with it. And I don't know, the DC movies are a little bit different than the Marvel movies. They're trying to make them darker, which is, fine. Okay, that's DC's thing. But at the same time, I think that they've got really good potential to, I don't want to say turn around, but to make great stories. And while I think that a lot of the executives, they really don't care about the bottom line, but I think you can do a great justice to the fans. I really can't believe I did that. Yeah, I think you can definitely do a great service and great justice to the fans by creating good stories, like they did with Superman, like they did with Wonder Woman and with Aquaman.
It's like the solo moves are good, but when they combine everybody, you just do a weird story.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I liked Suicide Squad. I liked Justice League. I liked all that. Like Batman vs Superman, it was a little slow and kind of like whatever. But the reason why Batman stopped, I guess he wasn't gonna. Right before he went to go stab Superman, he was like, "They're letting them kill Martha," and he's like, "What'd you just say?" And everybody's like, "Oh, we had to see Mom's name. I'm not gonna kill you."
Yeah.
It's because in Superman's last breath or in last hope, he didn't try to save himself. He wanted Batman, who was trying to kill him, to save his mom.
Ooh.
Right? So Batman finally realized that Batman became the enemies he's been fighting. In that moment when he said Martha, and he realized why he became Batman in the first place. And in Superman's last breath of save my mom, please, you're gonna kill her if you're gonna kill me. You know? And that's why he stopped. That's why he didn't kill Superman. That's why he threw it away. That's why he was like, "I'm so sorry." Like, he finally came to I'm back to why I started Batman in the first place, and that's why he stopped. He didn't stop because he had the same name. It was the same. It was the name, yes, as his mom, but it triggered of why he became Batman is because his parents got killed in an alleyway and he couldn't do anything about it. Nobody was there to help him. So that's why he became Batman. And Ben Affleck's Batman they made him darker. It made it seem like the death of his parents hit him a little harder than like maybe Christian Bale's did. But and that's why he stopped. He became the monster that he's been fighting all those years. And that's why it shows him like literally killing people, shooting that car down, you know? And then right before he goes to kill Superman, he realized that he became the monster he's been fighting all these years. And Superman, the most powerful human being, or not human being, or whatever. But in his last breath, he told Batman, the guy who was trying to kill him, to go save his mom. Yeah. And it made Batman snap too. That's why he didn't kill him. And nobody gets it. Everybody just thinks it's because he said his mom's name. That he's like, Martha. And he's like, that's my mom's name too. And throw it away. Like, no, that's not why he didn't kill him. So I know it seemed that way, but that's why he didn't do it.
I'm actually literally having a moment right now because I definitely was one of those people. But now seeing it the way that you said makes complete sense and puts it all into perspective, and just gives me a newfound love for that character and sort of like for that movie too, because I really thought that they did way too much with the movie. That because if you look at the Batman vs Superman, it basically followed like the Dark Knight or the Dark Knight Returns, I think. Dark Knight Rises. No, from Frank Miller, the comic book.
Oh, okay, never mind, my bad.
And it was a 2-part one, but you are 100% right, and everything about that rings true and makes true, or rings true and makes sense. But then another thing too that a lot of people don't get is with the latest Avenger movie when the Hulk is fighting Thanos, and and then the Hulk gets his ass handed to him.
And he doesn't want to come back out.
See, a lot of people think that, but the reason behind that though is because the Hulk and Banner, they have issues. They've had issues for a long, long time, and it's not that he doesn't want to come out because he's scared of Thanos, because the Hulk really isn't scared of anybody. He doesn't want to come out because one of the issues that he has with with Bruce Banner, but also the issues that he has with the rest of the Avengers and with the world, because the reason why Hulk ended up on that planet is because the people of Earth decided to kick him off, to kick him off the planet because they thought he was too dangerous. And I mean, I can definitely understand that sense of betrayal, and that the only time people call you is when they need you. Then of course you're not going to do anything to save them. But no, really, I am going to take a moment on that Batman vs Superman one. Like you blew my mind.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't kill him. You know, I'm one of the few people that actually got that reference for why he didn't kill him.
Mm-hmm.
It's because if you look throughout the whole thing, all he's talking about is destroying Superman, and Superman hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even Superman who destroyed that building of Bruce Wayne's building.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like he helps that guy up and his legs are cut off. It was General Zod who did it because he was figuring out his eyes and it cut down the building. And like, if anything, Superman helped not the planet destroying anymore. I said that totally wrong, by the way. Help not the planet destroy anymore.
No, are you kidding me? I got you. I understood.
Oh, okay.
Did you understand? See, we got you.
Okay.
We got you.
But yeah, that's why. Because if you like pay attention, that's all he's thinking about is killing Superman. He doesn't even care about anything else.
Yeah.
Like he's not caring about what's his name, the bald dude.
Oh, Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Well, because at this point, Lex Luthor isn't really a threat so much.
Yeah, I guess not. He hasn't really done anything.
Yeah.
But it just seems like Batman is fixed on one thing and not like what he's like. He's not fixed on why he became Batman in the first place.
Yeah.
And that's why that's why when he says Martha, that's why he doesn't kill him. He realizes that he became the monster he's been hunting down all these years. So.
See, and when you put it like that, then I kind of sort of like Ben Affleck as Batman. But if I had to say one thing that I didn't like, or well, among the things that I didn't really like about the way that DC handles Superman is, I like my Superman to be super. He has all these powers, all these abilities, and he can and should use them. It's been said that the Fortress of Solitude and space is the only place where he can go to hear and feel absolute silence. And even in space, he's attuned to the way Batman's heart sounds and the way that Lois Lane's heart sounds. One of the things that I liked about The Dark Knight Returns, the comic book, is because Batman fakes his own death. And he's buried, and then he goes underground to create like this Batman army and all this other stuff. And Superman and the guys at Clark Kent like hears that heartbeat, and he smiles a little bit because he knows that he's alive. And I just wish that they would like transfer that into the movies and show that he's not just, he can fly and he's super strong, but he has all these super abilities. There was one time when I think Lois Lane, she got some form of cancer. In 3 days, he read all the medical books in all the world. I mean, in 3 days, just.
He's super speed.
Yeah.
To tell everybody. All right, everybody. Sorry we have to do this wide shot because my other camera battery died and I didn't bring an extra camera, and so you're gonna have to deal with the wide shot. But so Henry.
All right, where were we?
You leave off. You wanted to tell everybody like how Batman really is, like the whole like underground thing.
Well, no. So it was in The Dark Knight Returns, and I will get murdered by all the comic book fans and by myself if I'm picking the wrong comic book story arc. But yeah, it's just one of the things that I like about the dichotomy between like Batman and Superman is that because everyone knows. I mean, if it came down to like fist fight, obviously Superman would win. But given enough time to plan and prepare, Batman would win. He actually has a suit. I forget the name of the suit, but it basically detects what's detecting it, and then becomes undetectable to that thing that's detecting it, which is ridiculous. So it goes along like the entire light spectrum, the entire sound spectrum, and becomes undetectable to whatever is detecting it. But then when Batman and Superman first started out, they weren't friends. They respected each other. But over time, that friendship grew. And that's one thing that I really like. So, question for you. What's been your favorite comic book story arc? Or...
Comic book story?
Yeah.
Ooh. I really can tell. I haven't really sat down and like
Mhm.
had one really. I guess. My mom used to download these Superman comic books on her like Kindle or whatever,
Mhm.
and one time we read one on the plane. We went to Washington for like a Christmas thing, whatever, and I read two of them on there, and it was against the Kryptonite Man, you know.
Okay, yeah.
And I can't remember what the other one was, but that's. And if anything, I haven't really read comic books in a while.
Mhm.
I used to read them all the time. I was in middle school, going in high school, but right now I've been watching a lot of videos on them.
Yeah.
So I honestly really couldn't tell you which my favorite one was. What about you, though?
Actually, random thing that I was thinking about is I think we were in the gym talking like now, like we do, and then you had looked over and you were like, "Whoa!" Because the guy with the tattoo.
I think it was Captain America's and the Winter Soldiers together.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was
I
that.
think, on the back of his calf. And then we just.
Yeah. Like, hey, man.
The guy was like, "What's going on?"
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that because like he turned around and we're like, "Hey man, how you doing?"
Yeah.
You're
Nice tattoo, man.
"Man,
Where'd you
that's
get
you." I was ripping off the wall fast. That's how creepy we were.
it? Yeah.
Like we weren't checking you out or nothing, but you have a nice tattoo on your leg. But I actually have to tell you something funny. Me and Jenny went to IHOP the other day, like last week or something, and one of the waiters there came by and tapped me on the arm. He was like, "Hey, I saw your tattoo, and it says watch the series. Is it a Joker tattoo?" In my mind, I was like, "You?
Yeah.
Why? What else would I have watch the series on my arm?" So I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, it is." So I showed him everything. He's like, "Dude, this is amazing. Like, I'm a total guy over it."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Can I take a picture of it?" I was like, "Sure."
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Cool, man." And he's like, "All right, I see you later." And
Yeah.
he walked out. That's all I did. And I was like,
I don't know, like I think that you're gonna see like a huge spawn now of people walking around with like that exact same tattoo and stuff. Speaking of which, I like what they're doing at the gym with the different like comic book characters and stuff like that.
"Yes."
Like, the Joker and Harley Quinn and Wonder Woman and stuff around there. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Ooh. Okay. One of my questions on here I do want to ask you. So, do you think like the main characters, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, shit like that, do you think their legacy should be passed on to a female character or keep it male?
Oh man. Whoo! All right. I don't even know like where to start or how to answer this one because I understand the the need for diversity and to represent the characters in a different light and this and even in the comics now, Jane Austen is Thor, though I think she might have given the mantle back to the original Thor. So the reason why I'm so torn on how to answer this is because if you look at comic books when they first started, back in, I think it's like the 20s, the 30s, the 50s, and 60s, they typically represented one demographic. Let me finish on this one. So they typically service one demographic. That's young white males. And that's what was depicted, was you had Superman, you had Batman, you had all these characters that appealed to that one specific demographic. Even when they had female characters, they had the big boobs and they were like scantily drawn. And I want to say it was in the 70s that Stan Lee said that he would like to see more diversity in comic books. And that's one of the reasons why he came about with the X-Men, was because you had Storm, you had
Phoenix.
Exactly. So you have all these different characters, and also at that time too, he was definitely making a social statement by against racial inequality and gender inequality, and I like that. What I'm against is I'm against them, Hollywood or or whoever, I'm against them changing established characters' identities just for the sake of
Diversity.
either diversity or for profits.
Mm.
Because obviously, if you take a character like let's say the Flash, you take a character like the Flash and you either make him black or turn him gay or whatever, then you've now opened up the market towards that other demographic. But the problem I think is that if you do that and then make that the only basis of their story, then you're not doing the character justice. If you have a good character that just happens to be gay, or just happens to be black, or just happens to be a woman or an Asian, then that's fine. I think that the new Hulk is Amadeus Cho. He's an Asian American. I like Amadeus Cho as a character because he is, super genius. But weaving him into the established character of the Hulk, I don't know. So if they can do it and do it justice and not just do it just for profits or for diversity's sake, then I'm definitely for it.
Okay. Would you like it to be like Captain America himself passed the shield on to a female, not them changing the character entirely?
That would be something.
Because what if he passed it on to, maybe he had a daughter or something,
Mm-hmm.
and she from genetics got the superhuman strength and stuff like that, and he got really old and he was like, I need you to be the next Captain America,
Kind of like what Logan did with X-ray. Well, X-ray 3 is what she's. Then absolutely, definitely.
Now, because I agree with the whole thing that them changing the character entirely just to fit in with, what character they did too? The New Titans. They changed up all of their.
I want to Starfire. I think.
Starfire.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going against black people here.
Yeah, exactly.
But they started off that way because racism nowadays.
Yeah.
I would literally just bring it I'm not racist or anything, but why didn't they start it off with that? She's not even human.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It doesn't even make any sense that they did that. They portrayed this baby as human, and Starfire is not human. She's an alien race, and she's not technically white.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Exactly.
And to me, I'm confused. They did it because obviously, jeez, I can't even think of the word right now. They're infusing black with things that haven't even been black in the past. I'm not against it, but why didn't they start off with it that way first? Because they were scared off. I don't know.
Well, see, I think that they definitely couldn't have done that. But now, granted, they did have some characters. Obviously Black Panther, Luke Cage, and just a few others. But when Samuel L. Jackson came out as Nick Fury, this was me. I was like, okay, all right,
good job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because he brought something to that character, to that role, that made it a good character and a good role. Idris Elba as a Viking Norse mythology god deity, but again, it's Idris Elba. Good job on that.
I like him. I hope he becomes James Bond, by the way.
See, exactly. See, so here's the other thing is that the whole 007, it's a title given to
it's
somebody.
it's not a race.
Exactly.
It's a title.
Exactly. Yeah.
I really hope they go that direction too. I think it'd be perfect too, because what movie is he in? Dark Tower.
Yeah.
He's really good as a gunslinger in that one. So I think it'd be perfect for role.
Exactly.
But I was gonna say something else, but never mind.
Well, no, because the other thing is in the comic books, there is a. I think they've rebranded Iron Man now as a woman, as a female. But the thing about it is, she's her own different version, because I think what she did was she took his Iron Man suit and like reverse engineered it, and then came up with like her own stuff and identity, and that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And then oh man, complete forgetting her name. I want to say Shuri. I think from the Black Panther.
Oh.
She is like.
Like,
Oh,
yeah.
we'll cut this out. We'll cut this out. Yeah. Anyways, I like how they're introducing her as a character, like with her complete own like backstory, her own intelligence, her own abilities to do things, and she's just like, oh man, that scene in Avengers when it was Scarlet Witch and Black Widow and the Dora Milaje fighting against
the alien.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, and that trench or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like she throws that big thing and everything. She's like, "Why was she up there the whole
Yeah,
time?"
exactly. Yeah, see, and again, to me, that is that's. It's not making the scene. Let's make these characters like powerful because they're female. This is no, but you're taking good characters, a good scene, and they just happen to be female. So. I'm not sexist, I'm not racist, I just want a good comic book movie. Oh man.
It actually goes to another one of my questions. You think it's time for strong female characters to like take the mantle, I guess? Like, you know how Captain America, Iron Man, Thor are the main people?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's time? I feel like this is what they're doing with Captain Marvel, by the way, is since they're done with their contracts and everything, but you know, Robert Downey Jr. is still going to be Iron Man, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think it's time for females to take over we're the strongest, we're the leaders now, kind of thing, or do you think it should be neutral, like they come in and they help be the leaders instead of them taking over?
All right, so I've got a couple different answers on this one. I hope I don't forget them. So the first thing is. I definitely think that we've had that in the past. I like that we're having more of it now. So the ones that come to mind is Linda Carter played Wonder Woman, and I definitely like that. And Helen Slater, I think, played Supergirl in the movies. You've got Melissa Benoist. I think that she's playing Supergirl now. Great. But then I look at. You have Angelina Jolie that played Tomb Raider, Lara Croft. Those are great movies, and I think she was definitely she can definitely fit in and play that character. So I definitely hope that they do bring more strong female characters like in the lead. But I don't like the way that they're doing it now. In terms of they have the strong, powerful, smart woman, and then they just have like the bumbling man. I don't like that trope. What I like is a strong, smart, powerful female character with another strong. Exactly.
I hate that they do that.
Mm-hmm. And they complement each other. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, like they feed off each other's strengths and everything instead of like the woman having to save the man or the man has to save the woman. I think it's time for like two strong characters to come together.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Like I think it's time for that instead of one over the other.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've had enough of that in the past. Bring in something new.
Yeah. But we are going to get that too because the next X-Men I think is going to have the Dark
Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we did see a little bit of that with the X-Men Apocalypse movie of how she waited until the very end. And not like I think her name is Sophie Turner. I am not a Sophie Turner fan.
What?
Because of did you see what she did on Game of Thrones? Okay, how dare she? How dare you? Okay.
What'd she do?
Wait.
I don't know, but what part are you talking about?
No, how she was in like the entire series, the entire season. Like oh man, Team Arya all the way.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay.
All right, sorry. So
okay,
no.
okay.
But the scene where
you're in the clear now.
Yeah. But the scene where she's walking off the thing and is just like walking like in the air, like I love that. And Jean Grey has always been like one of my favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely like that they're going to bring her like more to the forefront and make her powerful. I want them to do it justice.
Yeah. But
oh, sorry. So you had asked about like what my favorite comic story arcs, and it's really hard to pick because there's so many that I like. One of the ones that I did like in the comics was Infinity War. But the other thing, and this sort of like goes in line with what we were talking about, after Infinity War was the Infinity Crusade. And this female entity, she called herself the Goddess. Got a hold of, they weren't exactly the Infinity Stones, but they were Infinity Stones light. They were these cosmic essences that when you put them together could grant you any wish. And she basically wished for evil to be wiped out from the universe. And she was actually like really, like she did it and stuff. But eventually, like, the heroes came and like they took her down, all this other stuff. But again, to me, that's a good example of a strong female character that it wasn't just about her being female.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Last thing. Okay. And this. All right. There's a reason why I started this Nerding Out channel, and I wanted everybody to hear. Like, we kind of came with the idea together.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I kind of did just to be funny and like, what if we came up with something like a YouTube channel? We just talked about like nerd stuff and we're talking about heroes and everything. And like, yes, we're doing that right now. We're going on about the whole comic book thing, but the whole thing about people making you be something that you don't want to be. I grew up. Yes, I was really good at sports. Yes, I really liked them. But what I really wanted to do was act, but nobody really pushed me towards it. I did theater. I didn't do one act. One act is like the actual thing. You get on stage and act in front of somebody.
Okay.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
theater is like you have a class of like this is how you act.
Yeah.
But I never get to do it actually. And I was kind of like, shy and everything, but not really anymore. Obviously, look at my channel. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but my parents were kind of like, hey, try it out. It's good, you know. But I had everybody else be like, you need to do sports.
Yeah.
You need to go off and have a job. Alright. What I was trying to say was, so that's what I liked. I like to act and everything. Of course, I really enjoyed the sports. I enjoyed track, powerlifting, football, and everything.
And you were good at them too.
Yeah. I mean, look at me in the gym. I'm really strong and I like it, but the thing I love the most is the act or like the comic books or like the movies and stuff like that. And what I'm trying to get at is, what is your escape code? What do you go to when you're stressed? What do you go to when you're everything? Because I feel like this is why I made this channel. You know, like.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to come to this channel and feel safe about what they like. Like, I finally came out and been like, I tell you one thing, if I get really stressed out, and I will tell everybody right now, I listen to Phantom of the Opera. Yes.
Interesting.
But my favorite is listening to the cinematic one.
Okay.
Gerard Butler, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie and everything. But I like Phantom of the Opera. You know, and I listen to that if I get really stressed, and it calms me down, right? And like in movies, I watch YouTube channels. I watch gaming YouTubers that I watch because it helps me just escape reality for a little bit, and then like when I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm okay now. I come back and be like, I'm finally back to where I need to be. Like that's why I kind of made this channel. Like. I want people to be safe and like come to my channel and like I want y'all tell me what y'all escape code is. What do y'all go to when you're stressed out or anything like but what is yours, Henry?
Oh man, it's a couple different things. I mean obviously like one of the first things is lifting. Because but it's weird though because the lifting we might go deep on this one.
It's alright.
Alright.
We're here for you.
So this is something that not a lot of people know about me, but like I spent like the last year in like deep therapy. And so I went and I saw a counselor like a couple times a month, actually sometimes a couple times a week, just depends. And I mean that's definitely like changed like my outlook and my view towards myself because I used to have like really bad like negative issues of or negative views of myself towards myself. And one of the ways that I would punish myself was when I went to the gym, because I always felt that I had to be strong enough to save people and keep people from getting hurt. And that's definitely and completely changed now, of where I do it for the enjoyment of it, and I do it because it makes me feel good. One of the things that I used to hate doing was deadlifting. Now deadlifting is one of my favorite exercises, because when I go in for a deadlifting session, like that's when I shut out the world. And I don't listen to hardcore rap or hardcore music. I either listen to motivational speeches or instrumental music or something that's real low and mellow. And I can't explain it, but there's just that good sense of peace. The other thing that I've started doing now is meditation. And I don't mean to get all zen on this, but yeah, meditation has, again, changed my life, changed my mental focus. I normally meditate for about 10 minutes a day. The longest I've ever gone is 20 minutes, but I want to be able to get up to an hour of meditation and combine that with yoga or some other things. But when I'm in that meditative state, the only way that I know how to describe it is I feel like I am the only thing in a vast ocean or space of emptiness and calm. And I am at more peace then than I ever am. I don't really know how to explain it. And then of course, I mean, there's comics like or video games. When some of my favorite games that I've had and I've played for years was Spider-Man. Something about, I've never been to New York City, but I have swung around that city so many times in the Spider-Man game that I could probably make my way around downtown. but yeah, those are probably my big ones is getting to the gym and lifting and getting into that zone, and then meditation and video games.
Okay. It was talking about the whole Zen thing and everything. We actually talked about this a while ago. I'm a big sword collector. I love knights and back in the medieval times,
Yeah.
Knights and swords and bows and I'm pretty sure I was born in the wrong era. If I was born back then, I'd probably be ruling the world, But I have a katana that my parents bought me 2 years ago for Christmas. I have the Strider sword from Lord of the Rings. I have Orcrist from The Hobbit. It's a thorn sword he finds in the troll hole in the first movie or whatever. I have Sting, which is Bilbo's sword. I have a tomahawk.
Ooh.
I have a sword that turns into two swords, and I have Hidden Blade from Assassin's Creed. That's what I have. So when I used to get really stressed or whatever, and I know I've looked up videos how to sword fight and how to use a katana correctly and how to move with it, What I would do, I would go back. We have this pond area or tank in the back of my parents' house. I used to walk back there. I used to just listen to calm music, and do some moves and everything. I watch and everything. It used to calm me down a lot. Which, if you think about it, it's kind of weird even throwing a sword around. It was the movements that it taught you what to do and how smooth it be with it, and it's the whole Zen thing. You can't just full throttle like knights do. In knights you're brutal. You use your strength and their strength against them. If they swing this way, you can move and hit their sword down this way, and it hits the ground. Or use your shield, you hit the sword away and you stab them. But with katana and everything, you're smooth with it.
Yeah.
You're fast, it's every swing that counts, do not swing until you know. Basically, it's defense until you have the right opportunity to use offense.
Mhm.
That's the same thing with like karate or jiu-jitsu and anything. That's why I liked fighting so much, you know, like MMA, you know. And that was one of mine too, is
Yeah.
like, swinging the katana.
Have you ever tried Tai Chi?
Mm-mm.
No. I think you might like that because it has a lot of the same, I guess, like fluid motions, you know, of martial arts or sword fighting, but it's all about like being calm and being centered. And like if you find that calm and that strength in either sword fighting, or you find it in martial arts, I think that'll be like a good pairing of the two. I think you'll really like that.
Oh yeah. All right, Henry. We've been at this for like an hour and 20 minutes.
Are you
now.
serious? Dude, this was awesome.
So that was our first podcast. What do you think?
Yeah, no, this was definitely fun.
Yeah.
Like I know you guys are out there watching this, having a good time, but this right here was really cool.
We basically do this at the gym, but not for an hour.
Yeah.
Though. Usually
Yeah,
it's about.
it's-
Honestly, I think the longest we go is probably an hour. Honestly, but I have a habit of catching you on the treadmill and like talking to you about like anything really. I guess
Mhm.
like. What did I walk in and tell you? I guess I told you about that Aquaman. Like Aquaman,
Yeah.
must
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Jason Momoa definitely blew that out of the water.
Yeah.
Literally, like it's an amazing movie. Like
No spoilers, but is there an end of credit scene?
mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Man, DC is really just taking the page out of Marvel.
I know. I love the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last thing is so me and you. I want this to be our thing. Me and you have a podcast together,
Mhm.
and we're probably bringing people on here, right? All right, last thing is favorite superhero, right? Is Spider-Man. Would you be able to wear a Spider-Man suit next time?
I've got one in the back room. Are you kidding me? Like,
What? Are you kidding me?
What kind of question is that, really?
Yeah, I have a Superman onesie. I'm definitely wearing it next time. So,
Let's see. I've got a Darth Maul costume. I've got a Spider-Man costume. I've got the Batman onesie. I've been doing this for years, but I'm working on building or doing a cosplay for Bishop for X-Men. And I was just getting the right pieces together little by little. So, absolutely.
hell yes. All right. How do you want to end this?
Ooh,